So I was hoping that as we got into the new year, 2021, that things around the PlayStation 5 stock, specifically being able to get one, would become easier. You'd be able to go online and just order one, and it would show up at your house in a couple of days, and you wouldn't have to pay more than MSRP. However, does not look to be the case yet. Prices on eBay are falling. They're like $800, maybe even a little less if you're lucky online now. So it's getting closer to that $500 MSRP. The biggest problem is bots are still running wild right now online. And in fact, we had another headline pop up today that even had the retailer respond after apparently bots got a hold of thousands of PlayStation 5 systems from them. So guys, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if you're new to the Small Way Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So let's go over here. This is Video Games Chronicle, and they say Scalper bot firm claims it secured 2,000 plus PlayStation 5 orders from Game UK today, and they have an update with the retailer commenting on that restock as it continues to be targeted by scalpers with a particular bot called Carnage Bot. In this instance, we've talked about a couple of different bots, but if we look at Carnage Bot, we can see here they've already sold through their subscriptions. That's how these bots work. It's a subscription service. Here it looks like it's a £60 renewal for 6 months. It's the first EU and UK focused checkout automation software dedicated to toys and collectibles. So there are more uses outside of just the PS5. So naturally, they want to brag online about it, and they did. They mentioned, oh, it just keeps getting easier getting all of these PlayStation 5 systems. And they got so many replies back from frustrated and angry people who wanted the PS5 to, I don't know, maybe play it without having to spend $1,000 to get one, that they actually locked their Twitter account, which isn't surprising, like I said, because they were getting tons of replies every time they mentioned that they had several hundred PlayStation 5 systems ready to go. Then we could see several tweets here that were logged by Video Games Chronicles, over 2,000 checkouts successfully logged for today's game restock on the PS5, and then others tweeting out the first time they were running Carnage Bot, 10 PlayStation 5 systems secured with different screenshots of them able to check out all over the place. Of course, you see the emails where it's listed over and over and over again. Thanks for your order, back to back to back. I mean, look, it's 1032, 1032, 1032. There's 1023. So it's within, some of these within minutes of each other. Yeah, that's not the typical checkout you would see from someone who's scrambling to confirm their card. Now, of course, some of those people who were buying all of these PlayStation 5 systems with that bot attempted to explain and justify and give reasons as to why they were doing it. They say back on Twitter, some of those who bought extra PS5 stock today attempted to explain why they had done it. I lost my full-time job due to the pandemic. I have bills to pay. To do that, I am selling a PS5. I have bills to pay, and this is how I can currently pay them in the pandemic. If people are fortunate enough to be able to afford a PS5, they're not in the position I am, but they just bought a PS5 to then resell it. So they can't afford a PS5, but they managed to buy one. This is what I mentioned before. The only thing I can think of here that even has this statement make any kind of sense, which I still don't think it does, is that they're putting these things on credit cards, hoping that they'll then sell the PS5, flip it for several $100s in profit, pay off the card. That's very risky to go through all of that because the situation around the PS5 could change at any time. So I don't know if I would go out there and buy 5 or 6 PS5s, drop them on a credit card, and kind of cross my fingers. That doesn't seem like a good reason, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of go through a lot of these justifications on Twitter and really don't believe them. Now, Eurogamer managed to get a response from Game as to the situation here. They said PS5 continues to be in very high demand, and that demand far outweighs current supply. We have strong measures in place to help ensure that our one per customer statement is maintained to allow for us as many individual customers to successfully purchase as possible. All pre-orders are subject to automatic checks, and order updates such as cancellations following these checks take place after a customer will have received a valid order confirmation email. At the present time, these orders are still pre-orders, and as such, no payments have yet been taken from customers. Payments will commence once our order checks have been completed. So here's the issue with this here. That's that it's not being done in real time as these orders are coming in, so people can still load up these orders with bots and ensure that they're at least getting one PS5, whereas if you sell through all of your pre-orders and it's done like that, someone who is trying to get a PS5 to, like I said, play it and not flip the thing won't have a chance anyway. Unless you can start kind of filtering these out in real time, it just won't really work because now you're like, oh, okay, well, these 1,000 pre-orders aren't legitimate, we'll just go ahead and we'll list them again next week or something. And then the same bots come in and do it all over again until we eventually whittle it down to you just not having pre-orders, and you've then shipped the same person just over and over again a PS5 because they've placed the order different times throughout the month. You have to be able to figure this out as the orders are coming in, whether it's through, I don't know, IP addresses or just addresses right away. But yeah, I guess at this time, Game is just going to go through and cancel all of the duplicate orders for the PlayStation 5 systems, and it's just people using CarnageBot and CarnageBot itself, the company, bragging about it, Game getting word of it, and doing what happened when Very canceled over 1,000 Xbox Series X orders. And right now, we're basically at the mercy of these bots because the only way you can get these systems is online. Like, I think the moment these systems start showing up in stores regularly is really when the demand and the pricing for these systems right now drop off. Like, there won't be as much demand because you can just walk into a store and get one. And even if it's still limited there, the fact that it is in stores and there are at least options outside of going online, that will be enough, I think, to drive down the price and more or less bring everything back down to MSRP and much more regular. The problem is we don't know when that's going to be. April, May, over the summer, that's still another 5 or 6 months away, right? So we'll see what happens with that one. But as of now, I think these online retailers need to figure out a better way to kind of filter out some of these orders in real time as they are coming in, just blocking and saying, hey, you already got one. You don't need 10, you don't need 20. So let me know what you guys think about this down below, though, with Game now being the latest online retailer having to cancel what seems to be thousands of PlayStation 5 orders after getting hit by a bot called CarnageBot. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.